大家好，今天小明要来带大家一起逛农场咯，一起来体验高科技农场所带来的进步吧。开始前记得订阅我们的频道，并开启小铃铛，还有追踪我们的 FB 粉丝专页，这样子就不会错过我们的影片啦。也要感谢伊利诺州养猪协会所提供的影片授。上一次我们讲到了猪场的环境卫生、母猪配种以及怀孕的流程。今天我们要接着讲的是母猪分娩以及中央控制系统，还有有序发展哦。
This is the farrowing room or the birthing room. This is where our sows or our mother pigs deliver their piglets. These individual maternity pens were developed to protect our newborn pigs from crushing from the sow. During the farrowing process or the birthing process, we will have caretakers that monitor the progression of that farrowing process. So we'll write the time down that we observed her, how many pigs she has born alive, and if we assisted her at all. Again, we monitor these sows during the farrowing or the birthing process at least every 30 minutes and provide assistance. As the pig's being born, they pick up a towel and towel dry it and set it underneath one of these heat lamps. We also ensure that each pig gets a belly full of mama's first milk, which is called colostrum. We've got feed provided to the sows 24 hours a day on these self-feeders here. Fresh water 24 hours a day. We have two environments we have to maintain in this room. We've got the heat lamp. Underneath the heat lamp, we try to keep it 95 degrees, keep those baby pigs nice and warm. And we also have the environment we have to look after for the sow, which we try to keep around 70 degrees. So we're managing two environments in here. So this is the controller room. This is where we have a Maximum Ag Technologies, where their controller or their computer will control all the fans, all the heaters, all the cooling systems on the farm to keep conditions at ideal conditions for the pig. And it's also got connectivity to the internet, so wherever I'm at, I can pull my phone out and I can tell you exactly what's going on in every single room of this farm.
I'll just go through and kind of quickly explain a few things. So this is actually what we call the brain of it. There's actually going to be 4 brains on this site. This one here is doing the gestation barn. Each one of these icons kind of takes them through each different aspect of the farm itself. So one neat little option we have here, this is the barn overview. This kind of gives us a quick glance view of everything going on within that building right now. All these other boxes you see, these are just housing the actual electronic side of it, so you can manually walk up to them and operate them. Those are for the changes systems, so we are actually controlling all the feeding as well throughout the building.
And that's an important point. So as you can see, we have a lot of technology, a lot of electronics, modern electronics here. And so we need to make sure we're using that to provide care for our pigs, but we also need to have backup for that. And when you pulled up today, or maybe when you leave today, take note on that outside, we have 4 generators. We have 2 really big generators. One of those generators is the backup for our farrowing barn, our birthing barn. The second generator is the backup for our gestation barn and our gilt barn. Then we have 2 additional generators. Those are the backups of the backups. So if the main generator doesn't kick in, we've got a smaller generator that will kick in to take its place, and that will help run the minimum fans and lights. So on a day-to-day basis, we will have our managers that will oversee the settings on the controllers, make sure they're operating correctly. But it's also, we have to rely on our individual caretakers to use essentially their senses to know if something is operating correctly or incorrectly. Is it too hot? Is it too cold? You always look at the pig. Regardless of what standards you set or what set points you set on these controllers, you look at the individual pigs and they will tell you if they are comfortable or not comfortable. So all the fresh air for this barn comes in on the gable end, up into the attic, and then comes down through the ceiling inlets. These black things on the ceiling, these are our ceiling inlets. Now in the summertime, that air will be cooled by the use of what we call cool cell pads. It's evaporative cooling. So when it's 90 degrees outside, it's 80 degrees inside the barn. So all the air comes in through these ceiling inlets, and these inlets, how far open or closed they are, is controlled by a ventilation controller or a computer. And that helps control the temperature, the fans, the heaters, and the cooling systems for all of the barns here at the NEP plant. In the wintertime, these panels will be all the way up, and all the air will be controlled coming into the barn through the ceiling inlets, which again, you can see the cable that controls how open or closed they are. Then as it warms up, like days like today, these panels will come down and this curtain will drop and will pull air across these pigs to keep them cool. So underneath our barns, we have pits to collect manure from the pigs.
What we will do, according to the regulations, we will soil test. We will test the manure in the pit each year, and then we know our cropping history, what we're going to be doing, and that's how we will determine the rate of application.
Mike loves the land that he farms. He wanted to do the best thing he could for his land. And by doing that, he wanted to participate in the oldest recycling program known to man. And that's where we grow corn locally, we grow soybeans locally, which are the primary ingredients in pig feed. And we feed those corn and soybeans to pigs. We feed it in a feed that meets or exceeds their nutritional requirements. And then we collect the manure produced by those pigs in these pits, and that manure is organic fertilizer.
We want to keep a good, healthy soil. That's the whole advantage of hog manure or any manure versus commercial fertilizer.
And then we use this organic fertilizer in our pits to fertilize next year's crops, which feeds next year's pigs.
And it's going to be a good long-term advantage to the health of the soil. Raise our organic matter, water holding capacity, less erosion. That's what I'm after.
一段影片，我们来到了猪只的分娩舍。母猪在分娩前几天会移到猪只分娩室。分娩舍的人为设计，主要是为了防止小猪被母猪不小心的压死哦。农场还会确保每只小猪都能够喝到奶呢。第二段影片就是在讲述中央控制系统。这个强大的系统主要是用来监控以及调节猪舍的温度，可以让母猪与小猪都能够健康舒适的在里面生活着呢。这段只是在讲述猪只的废弃物可以作为肥料滋养当地的农场土壤哦。这些肥沃的土壤可以让上面的作物更加的优良，进而制造出优质的饲料，以达到有序发展的目的。高科技农业除了让动物、植物更加优良以外，还朝着有序发展为目标呢。高科技农业持续的发展，希望有一天能够达成环境、人类、动物、植物多方皆赢的美好未来哟。今天前进农场的影片就到这边啦。不知道大家喜不喜欢跟着小咪一起逛农场呢？还是觉得高科技农业与自己无关呢？不管什么样子的评论，都欢迎到影片下方做留言哦。研究团队除了破解谣言以及科普以外，也会开始分享一些人生的课题与解法哦。比如说像是学习力的锻炼、时间的掌控、情绪的控管，以及如何设定人生目标等等呢。对于以上的课题，如果有兴趣的朋友，都可以订阅我们的频道，并追踪我们的 FB 粉丝专页哦。研究团队感谢您与我们一起用科学文献以及知识的方式探寻迷路的真相。感谢您的观看，我们下次见，拜拜。